What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give our takes on AEW. It is Wednesday, June 15th, 2022. Here with Wesley Williams, Cameron Johnson on audio tonight. Guys, what is up? I thought we had a really good Road Rager show tonight, AEW Dynamite from St. Louis. And finally, man, Christian Cage turns on Jungle Boy, and I thought it was brilliant. Off air, he went over to Jungle Boy's mom and sister and told them, "You raised a piece of shit." I'm so ready for this feud, man. I'm so ready for heel Christian Cage. Cam, what's up, dude? How are you doing? What'd you think of tonight's show?
Oh man, I would be doing a whole hell of a lot better if this damn, if I wasn't on audio, my camera would actually show, stupid technology, man. Y'all need to see this beautiful face again, man. I know the fans of Big Fight Field are wanting to see this beautiful face again, man. I will find a way to get that to you guys. But I thought AW Dynamite tonight. I thought this was a hell of a show, man. I thought this was a hell of a show. I thought it opened strong and I thought it ended strong with that Christian Cage show turn. And I thought everything in the middle was really good. So I thought this is an excellent. So I thought this is an excellent show of AEW Dynamite tonight. I thought this is an excellent show.
Wes, what's up, man?
Up. I too thought tonight was a really great show tonight, live in St. Louis, home of my favorite baseball team, the St. Louis Cardinals. You already know, but great show. I wish I could have been there live. Fortunately, I couldn't make the show in person, but I'm happy I still got to watch it from the comfort of my own home. Great show tonight, all around, start to finish. Road Rager was a big success, man. Started out real hot with the Ortiz Jericho hair versus hair match, ended strong with the excellent tag title ladder match, along with the Christian heel turn, which we'll get more into as we dive deeper into the review. But great to be back talking AEW content right here on the Big Fight Field channel with my boys Joseph Conlon and Cameron Johnson. Let's get right into it.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Austin Gamers Goon, who was in attendance at the show tonight in St. Louis. That crowd was really good in St. Louis. They were very loud. By the way, so really quick, Wes. The AEW roster was at that Cardinals Pirates game last night. That was an electric. Not it was a blowout game, but man, the Cardinals pitcher Miles Michaelis was one pitch away, one strike away from getting that no hitter. Man,
Yep.
sucks.
Sucks. But, hey, man, you got to give it to Miles Michaels, man. 129 pitches, man. You don't see performances like that these days, man. You gotta tip your cap to him at the end of the day. He still got the job done for us. Very proud of him still. I think that would have been the first no-hitter for the Cardinals since I believe Bud Smith back in 2001. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that was the last time Cardinals had a no-hitter. Not very often we've had those, but yeah, we got a really solid team together this year, man. I'm very proud of these guys, and man, if Paul Goldschmidt ain't an all-star starter in the all-star game, man, something's wrong. Something's completely wrong.
He's not gonna be. It's in LA. It's gonna be Freddie Freeman. So,
I mean, Freeman. Hey, Freeman's great, but I mean, come on, man. Nobody's hotter than Goldie. Maybe Machado. Machado might be a little on the same wavelength as Goldschmidt, but Goldie's the hottest player right now in the National League. You can't deny this man.
I mean, that's your opinion, but hey, we'll see what happens. It's the All Star game, so we'll see what happens. Let's get into tonight's Road Rager show. Live from St. Louis, we opened up with the hair versus hair, which honestly, I thought they were gonna open up with the ladder match. I'm glad they didn't. I'm so glad that was the main event. We opened up with hair versus hair, Chris Jericho against Ortiz, and this match was freaking great, man. This was a really good match. Crowd was so into it. Uh, Ortiz was very, very over in this match, and Jericho and Ortiz, while they're in the ring, everybody from Jericho Appreciation Society to Kingston, Wheeler Yuta was out there, Santana was out there, so they were all brawling with the Jericho Appreciation Society. And out of nowhere, I mean, literally out of nowhere. And but William Regal was freaking great on commentary during this match as well. He was really good on commentary tonight. So shout out William Regal. Out of nowhere, Fuego del Sol hits Ortiz with a baseball bat, and Chris Jericho pins Ortiz. So the heel goes over in the hair versus hair match. Fuego is celebrating with Jake Hager. He pulled off his mask, and it was Sammy Guevara. It was indeed not Fuego del Sol. It was Sammy Guevara dressed as Fuego del Sol. And it seems like we got a little reunion, and we'll get to it later on what happened. And we got a little reunion with Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, and Chris Jericho going up against Eddie Kingston's team. After that, I love this part. The barber was standing in the ring. He was getting ready to cut Ortiz's hair. Eddie Kingston told him to get the hell out of the ring. Ortiz just freaking grabbed scissors, grabbed a razor, and he started cutting it himself. And Eddie Kingston was like, "We are far from done with all this jazz." He's like, "Ortiz, what do you want to see these guys?" Ortiz was yelling blood and guts while he was cutting his hair, and not like he left a little piece of hair. He's bald. Ortiz is bald. And I honestly loved it. He was cutting his hair and he was screaming blood and guts. I mean, and now we got Sammy Guevara in this feud. So I like it. The shit that Sammy Guevara was in was atrocious. From going into Double or Nothing, he deserved to be in much bigger things than what he was in, and I feel like putting him back with Chris Jericho, and he's permanently in the group now. We'll get to that later on. Him being back with Chris Jericho and him staying as a heel, I think makes the best sense, and I think it's what's best for AEW. And all around, I think Chris Jericho having Sammy Guevara back is fine with him being back with the Jericho Appreciation Society. So yeah, I thought this match was great. I loved the ending. I loved the post match for what Ortiz did. Cam, start us off tonight, man.
I thought this was a really fun way. I thought this was a really fun way to open up Dynamite here tonight. Them doing the hair versus hair match here. Them doing the hair versus hair match here. Chris Jericho with the bald head. It just don't seem right. It just don't seem right now. I don't think Chris Jericho. I don't think Chris Jericho got the head for a bald head, man. I think him with the bald head would look very, very weird. So them cutting Ortiz's hair. I think made the most sense. I think it was their decision. It gets more heat. It gets more heat on the heels going into blood and guts because it gets more heat on the heels going into blood and guts because everybody wants to see Eddie King because everybody wants to see the Jericho Appreciation Society get their ass whooped. So I like that. There was a great near fall here. There was a great near fall in this match where Eddie Kingston hit the spinning back fist on Chris Jericho, and they got me there for a minute. I thought that was the finish right there when Jericho kicked out. When Jericho kicked out, I was like, wow. So that shocked me there. And Sammy Guevara coming out in the Fuego del Sol match, I thought that was a really nice touch. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I wasn't really paying attention to who was ringside. And I saw Eddie Kingston did it. I saw Eddie Kingston and Wheeler Yuta came out and took everybody out that was at ringside. But I wasn't really paying attention to who was at ringside. So when I first saw the Fuego del Sol match, when I first saw Fuego del Sol come out, I thought it was gonna be Daniel Garcia under the mask. I thought Jericho would take the mask off. Yeah, I thought Jericho would take the mask off and reveal it was Daniel Garcia under the mask. And reveal it was Daniel Garcia under the mask. But Sammy Guevara being under the mask, the Sammy Guevara being under the Fuego del Sol mask makes a lot of sense because the two of them are best friends, and I like this a lot. I like putting Sammy Guevara back with Chris Jericho. This is a much better spot course, Sammy Guevara, he was going to have absolutely nothing right now. And if you're going to keep Sammy Guevara and Takashi together on TV, turn him heel. Turn him heel, which they have done. Make them heels, which they have done here. So overall, I thought this is a strong open show. I thought this is a strong open for AEW.
Wes.
Yeah, I thought this was a very big match here between Ortiz and Jericho. I really enjoyed what these two guys did. Yeah, I also think that Sammy joining up with the Jericho Appreciation Society along with Ty Conti, I think is definitely the right move. Definitely way, way, way better than what he was doing before. Thank the Lord again that is over and we have moved on from that. This is a much better spot. And, I like too that, like, Sammy, when it came to Sammy, like, leaving the Inner Circle, like, he didn't choose a side. He just straight up left because he was TNT champion. He's like, y'all figure this out. I'm moving on. And now here we are. Fast forward, and now Sammy has joined forces with Jericho and company, and again, it's the right move. I mean, keep Sammy as a heel. He's really good as a heel, and I mean, obviously, people didn't care about him as a face anymore. That ship has just sailed right now. I mean, it might be picked. It might revive itself again, but for right now, though, Sammy is best as a heel, and him having him and Ty being together as a heel couple is the right call. But I'm very interested how this goes. I mean, we already know what Sammy is like when he's aligned with Jericho and Hager and all of them. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see going forward. How this all goes. But for right now, I'm all for it. So
I wonder who's going to be in Blood and Guts now. You got to imagine Sammy Guevara is going to be in Blood and Guts, right?
yeah, I feel like he's got to be. I was kind of thinking about that too. I was thinking maybe it could be Jericho, Hager, Sammy in 2.0, or maybe you do like Jericho, Sammy, Garcia, and 2.0, and you just leave Hager out of it. Because, I mean, honestly, are you really going to notice if Hager's not there? Let's
No.
go here. I mean, but so those are kind of like the two ideas I had for who would participate in Blood and Guts for the heel side. So
I don't think Hager needs to be in Blood and Guts. I mean, he can get involved in the match if he wants. If like they want to do a spot where Hager's trying to interfere, and Lord Regal comes down and gives him an old clothesline or something like that, I'd be totally okay with that. It's Jake Hager, so we'll see what happens. Blood and Guts is in 2 weeks, by the way. So time flies. We are getting that match in a few weeks at Blood and Guts, and I imagine if Danielson isn't back by then, I guess Wheeler Yuta's going to be in his spot because we haven't seen Danielson in a couple weeks, and it's been Yuta who's been going against the Jericho Appreciation Society. So who knows? And we got a match with Yuta at Forbidden Door, which we'll talk about in the middle part of the show. But my down point of the show, this 20-on-1 handicap match was just not my cup of tea. Wardlow got new theme music. Awesome. I loved it. It fits his character. The crowd's chanting Wardlow while the theme plays, and it freaking rhymes with the theme song. I love it. This match was not for me. I don't even know if you can call it a match, to be honest. It was just a segment of Wardlow squashing 20 dudes, 20 independent wrestlers. That's basically what it was. And these freaking dudes were all stacked up when Wardlow was pinning them, and they didn't even have their shoulders on the mat for a proper pin, man. I'm like, come on, man. At least have their shoulders on the ground or something like that. So Wardlow beats these 20 dudes. He power bombs Smart Mark, so thank God we're done with that stuff. We're done with Smart Mark and the security guards against Wardlow. I think we've moved into Wardlow against Scorpio Sky for the TNT title. Dan Lambert and Scorpio Sky, they're in a press box, and they're like, clearly you've been hitting the gym a lot because you didn't you must have not gone to school. And he says, if you're smart, we got tons of members of American Top Team, and some of them might be over your shoulder. And one of them was Tyron Woodley, and the other one was Mike Hughes.
I believe that's who it was.
Yeah. Apparently, he got in a very scary accident a couple years ago, so to be able to see him okay, I mean, that's good to see. Um, but Smart Mark is getting in their faces. He's touching Tyron Woodley, and he throws Smart Mark into Wardlow for the power bomb, and the two of them are celebrating with Wardlow. We got to get this title match sooner or later. I don't know when it's going to happen, but the sooner the better. We need to get this title on him as soon as possible, in my opinion. So, yeah, but this 20-on-1 shit was just, it was kind of ridiculous for me. But, Cam, what'd you think of all this Wardlow stuff tonight?
I thought this was definitely the point in the show, but to me, I don't think this was. No, to me, I don't think this was overly offensive. If anything, I think. If anything, I think. If anything, I think. If anything, I think this went way too long. But you have 20 guys in there. You have 12. But you have 20 guys in there. You have 12. So that part. Now, but you have 20 guys in there that you had to eliminate. So that part I understand. So that part I understand. But to me, I didn't find this offensive personally. I thought this was fine. But I thought this was fine. And I'm glad Wardlow's finally. I'm glad Wardlow's fighting for the TNT title. Overall, I thought this segment dragged a little bit, but other than that, I thought it. But other than that, I thought it was fun. But other than that, I thought it was fine. And him. Oh, by the way, Tyron Woodley. I can't take Tyron Woodley seriously, man. I'm sorry. He got knocked out by Jake Paul. I can't. He was by one of the Paul brothers. I can't take you seriously, man. I'm sorry. Just bum off my television.
Man, I didn't he fight Jake Paul?
Yeah, he did.
I don't.
God.
And he lost. I can't take him seriously.
Wes.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. Definitely the weakest part of the show. But like Cam said, it wasn't overly offensive. It was kind of just there. It was what it was. Wardlow's still a monster face. I don't think this really downgrades his stock in any way. I think now we've fully transitioned TNT title feud between Scorpio Sky and Wardlow now, and now we just gotta get that match as soon as we possibly can and get that title on Wardlow so he can have his reign as TNT champion, which I know everybody is definitely looking forward to, and I'm certainly looking forward to it as well. And the line of opponents you can stack up against Wardlow, man, amount of really good matches you can get out of him, I think it would be a successful TNT title reign. So, yeah, not sure. I mean, maybe since they have put the women's title on the line at Forbidden Door now. Maybe they put the TNT title on there, but they don't need to, though. I mean, you already got enough matches. You don't need to do that. You can just save it for a special Dynamite episode, in my opinion. Or maybe if you want to stack up a big Rampage episode, why not do a Rampage? I don't know, but
I'm thinking it's summer. They're gonna do Fighter Fest soon, right?
probably, or Fight for the Fallen, one of those.
I'm thinking one of those shows. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that would be the best idea.
Yeah, I agree. I do have an idea for what they should do with Wardlow when he. I'm not gonna say it until he actually wins the championship. I think it's a clever idea. I can't wait for you guys to hear it, but I'm not gonna share it until he wins the title. So, and all the viewers, you're gonna have to wait for a couple weeks because I do think he's gonna win the title, and I think the match. I don't think it's necessary for Forbidden Door. I mean, you've already got the women's title in there. You've already got a lot of New Japan AEW stuff on there. Uh, it doesn't need to be on the show. Speaking of AEW New Japan, I know we got an insane ladder match to main event the show, and I love that match. But that match was not better than Will Ospreay against Dax Harwood. I let me tell you something, man. My friend told me this, and I absolutely agree. If Will Ospreay, I don't know when his New Japan contract's up. I don't know when. If Will Ospreay committed to living in the States, living in in America, signed a contract with AEW, This man would be a freaking legend in AEW. I'm telling you right now, man. The endless of possibility of matches he's gonna have, he would have, if he moved to the United States and signed with AEW full time. It would be unbelievable. It would be absolutely unbelievable. And Dax Harwood, man, another great match by my guy Dax Harwood. Who's he faced in the singles competition this year that he's just been putting on banger matches with? CM Punk, Cash Wheeler, um, Adam Cole. Am I forgetting anybody else?
Pac. He did have a great match with Pac.
Was that this year?
Maybe it wasn't like late one, but still, regardless, the dude is an amazing singles wrestler as well as tag team wrestler.
I'll tell you what, if somehow hopefully I'm not saying I hope this happens. God forbid, Cash Wheeler goes down with an injury and he has to take a few months off. I'm totally in on a Dax Harwood singles run. That would be absolute money, man. That would be freaking money. But this match against Will Ospreay, if you guys didn't watch the match, you're gonna have to go back and watch it because I'm not going over this match move for move. It's just a lot. It's just a lot of stuff, and you should go watch it for yourselves. You honestly should go watch this match for yourselves. So, man, Will Ospreay won with the back. I'm just gonna go to the ending. Will Ospreay won with the back fist, and after the match, the United Empire came down. The Aussie Open. We saw the Great O'Khan. We saw Jeff Cobb was there, and we got Cash Wheeler coming out. Roppongi Vice was there. So all of them were brawling. And who comes out and returns but freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy? Got hurt at Revolution. He's back. He came out and he got face to face with Will Ospreay. And next week on Dynamite, spoiler before we get to match cards, for next week and for the Forbidden Door, next Wednesday we're getting a 6-man tag. It's going to be the Aussie Open and Will Ospreay against Orange Cassidy and Roppongi Vice. At Forbidden Door, Will Ospreay. We all pitched opponents for Will Ospreay and Forbidden Door. I believe none of us came up with Orange Cassidy. I am totally down for Will Ospreay against Orange Cassidy. I think given time, give him 20 minutes, that could be the best match of the entire night, man. I'm loving everything about this entire feud. We're setting up a 3-way, I think, for the IWGP and hopefully the Ring of Honor tag team titles. And now we got Orange Cassidy against Will Ospreay. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Cam, what do you think, my man?
Okay, Joseph Westwood, don't be mad at me at this, man. Do not be mad at me about this at all. But I got some news that I gotta just tell you. Don't get mad at me here.
What's up? I'm not mad.
Because I was really, really tired watching Dynamite, and I was watching this on the couch. I went to sleep during the Will Ospreay Dax Harwood match.
No.
And I woke up right as John Moxley was in. I woke up right of the John Moxley Hiroshi Tanahashi segment. So I cannot comment on this match because I did not see this match. I had to go back and watch this match. I'm sure this match was incredible, but sadly, I did not see it. Sadly, I did not see this match here. I went to sleep. I went to sleep in the middle of this match. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, dude.
Can't believe it. I
Go
cannot
ahead,
believe
Wes.
this is the biggest turn of the century, man. What a heel turn here, man. Goodness gracious.
Go ahead, Wes.
Oh, well, as far as my thoughts on the match, I mean, I agree with you, Joseph. I like this. And no disrespect to the main event. No disrespect to the main event. Amazing main event. But my goodness, man, did Dax Harwood and Will Ospreay put on an absolute banger for the ages tonight, man. These two guys put on a match that I was heavily anticipating, and it
Hey, oh,
absolutely
time out.
delivered.
Time out. This is what we get for Ken missing the match. We we get sad music. That's what we get. We get sad music because he missed the match of the night. Cam, you gotta go watch this match, dude. You gotta watch the match. No,
Go back and watch it.
still love you, man, but
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Well, you're good. You're good. You're good. But yes, absolute banger for the ages, man. I mean, once this match was announced, I already knew like these guys are going to absolutely destroy it, and they did tenfold, man. The crowd was red hot for it in St. Louis tonight. And I agree with you, Joseph, man. Whenever his New Japan deal comes up, they AEW and Tony Khan have to take advantage and sign Will Ospreay to a deal, man. Because I mean, you would be foolish to pass this guy up, man. There's a reason why he's one of the he's called one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. And he's called the aerial assassin. He's called that for a reason. It's because this dude is a special type of talent, man. I mean, heck, I mean, I would love to see a Ricochet in AEW one day. Don't get me wrong, but like honestly, if they can never get Ricochet for whatever reason, like Will Ospreay is a great fill-in role for that spot, man. I mean, Will Ospreay is definitely one of the most decorated wrestlers you'll find today, and I absolutely love what him and Dax Harwood did tonight. I don't know if I could praise it anymore, but yeah, absolute wonderful stuff, man. And Dax Harwood, it's amazing how not only is he amazing as a tag team wrestler, but as a singles wrestler too. This guy just puts on banger after banger after banger. I just wonder who he's going to be going one-on-one with next, man. And of course, the announcement, the aftermath with Orange Cassidy, man, I absolutely love it. I love seeing Orange Cassidy back and healthy and back to 100% after the injury he suffered back at Revolution. Very happy to see our freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy back in AEW, and now he's going one-on-one with Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door for the IWGP United States title, which is still being held by Juice Robinson, by the way. Ospreay doesn't actually have the belt with him because Robinson is still holding, so that's a very interesting scenario there. I don't know, possibly we maybe get a Juice appearance at Forbidden Door. We might see, I don't know. But man, sign me up all the way for Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy, man. It reminds me of when we saw Orange Cassidy versus Pac in Revolution 2020, man, and how, this was kind of a lot of people's first ever exposure to Orange Cassidy, what he can do in the ring. This is giving me vibes of that for whatever reason. I know we all know what he can do in the ring at this point, but, like, it's giving me vibes of that again, where it's like, these two guys, just by, like, this standoff alone tonight, I already looked at this, I'm like, this is going to absolutely slap. No doubt about it. And like you said, Joseph, could very well be match of the night when everything's all said and done on June 26th. And it's definitely one of the matches I'm most excited for, man. I cannot wait to see this go down. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, listen. I know all the hardcore fans probably know New Japan. They know Will Ospreay. They've watched Will Ospreay for years. I think Will Ospreay made a lot of new fans tonight. Not everybody who watches AEW watches New Japan. I just have that. People say that. I call absolute bullshit on that. If like, there's a great chance that someone could have watched Will Ospreay for the first time ever tonight, and then after this match with Dax Harwood, like, man, this guy's unbelievable. I gotta go watch his matches in New Japan. This is great, and this is great for AEW because they're getting new fans on the eyes of New Japan. I love it, man. You guys feel the same about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's really good for just pro wrestling as a whole for people, who are not so familiar with New Japan, or heck, if you want to throw in, Ring of Honor, throw in GCW, throw in, Impact even. I mean, throw in all these promotions. Maybe not everybody is very familiar with, and you throw in talent like this, like Will Ospreay, you throw in the Jeff Cobbs, you throw in the Great O'Cons and stuff. You throw in guys like this, and people start to become more familiar with them. The more household names they will become for individuals. The more casual fans will watch and be like, wow, this dude right here is really, really good. I should go research some of his matches. Or maybe I've seen people, scroll through TikTok, and I've seen some wrestling videos go, kind of get trending on there, and people be exposed to what AEW's doing or just whatever New Japan's doing, like getting these guys in, and people are like, wow, they're absolutely amazed by what they're seeing, and even got the people who are like, this is way better than what WWE's doing these days. It's amazing how much it's expanding the fan base, and I love to see it, and I love the fact that this is getting casual fans more getting their eyes more on these guys, because they deserve all the praise in the world and all the credit, because these guys deserve the spotlight and they deserve to be in front of a worldwide audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Ospreay is signed with New Japan until the summer of 2024. I just looked that up. So,
I hate to be this guy, but I don't think Will Ospreay is going in. I think he's re-signing with New Japan if I had to make a prediction.
I mean, he could do whatever he wants. I'm just saying, like, if he was in AEW, I mean, he would be a freaking legend in AEW, in my opinion. I'm not saying he has to sign. I agree. I agree with Cam that he probably will sign with New Japan. He's had a home in New Japan for so many years. But if he was a full-time AEW superstar, wrestler, my goodness, the possibilities are endless there. So, um, yeah, we'll see what happens. We're getting him versus Orange Cassidy at the Forbidden Door. And before we get into the John Moxley Tanahashi segment, I actually want to get into some news that broke Sunday or Monday, I think it was. And it was the fact that Andrade and the Lucha Bros are not going to be available for the Forbidden Door because of something that happened with CML, which is freaking ridiculous, man, and is bullshit because I think AEW had AEW brung Rushin for that segment with Andrade to set something up for Forbidden Door. And next week, I mean, again, match spoiler for next week. Next week, we're getting a qualifier for that All Atlantic title. Malachi Black's facing Penta. It's like that match is so predictable. Like Penta can't even wrestle on the show, so it's like we already know who's gonna win. We already know Penta is not allowed to wrestle on the show. So why is he wrestling Malachi Black next week? It's just ridiculous, man. And that show could absolutely use Andrade and Roosh, and you could put the Lucha Bros in something. It sucks that we're gonna have Forbidden Door without those three guys. Do you guys have any quick thoughts on those?
Yeah, I heard about that, and it does really suck, man. I mean, we talked about having like Ray Phoenix on the show against Will Ospreay as a potential opponent. We discussed all that, and then Andrade. I mean, we all know how amazing Andrade is as a wrestler, and I would have loved to seen him and Roosh do something at New Forbidden Door. And it sucks, and hopefully things get settled. Whatever is going on with CML and with New Japan, I guess they're just at odds with each other for whatever reason. We don't know for sure, but hopefully they get that settled so we can actually see AAA talent make their appearances in shows like this with AEW and New Japan with Forbidden Door and stuff. And Tony Khan even said in an interview this week that he wants Forbidden Door to be an annual event. So he wants this to be like kind of an every year thing, kind of in a way, maybe like an unofficial fifth pay-per-view, which honestly, if you want to, fine. I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
you only do 4 pay-per-views in the year anyway. It's not like you're overdoing it or anything like that. Adding a show like this where it's a super show, it's like Ring of Honor with New Japan with a super card of honor.
yes.
Like they do that every year, and it's I feel like it'd be no different with this. But yeah, hopefully they get that settled because talent like Andrade and the Lucha Brothers should not be kept off of a big show like this. That's for sure.
It's criminal. It's really upsetting. And like I said, why have Penta face Malachi in a qualifying match to go to Forbidden Door when we already know Penta can't wrestle? So I know they'll have a great match. It's just it's just what's the point? We already know Penta can't wrestle on the show. So, Cam, do you have any thoughts to say on this situation?
It sucks that they will not be able. It sucks that they won't be able to be at Forbidden Door. Unfortunately, I don't know what the issue is with New Japan and CMLL or New Japan and AAA. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is because that's not my department. I don't watch, no disrespect to AAA or CMLO. I do not follow those. I do not watch those promotions. I do not follow those promotions, so I do not know what the issue is with that. But I hope this can get resolved. But I hope this get resolved because not being able to have Andrade or the Lucha Bros on one of your on Forbidden Door on a crossover show means to look ridiculous. So whatever's going on, I hope they figure it out.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I totally agree. Mox. Mox came out for the face-to-face confrontation with Hiroshi Tanahashi. I'll tell you what, man. When I saw the news that Tanahashi defeated Hiroki Goto, I was quite stunned because I totally expected Goto to come over against Tanahashi. Said no one ever. I'm just joking with that. Tanahashi came out to a huge pop in St. Louis, which is awesome to see because he's really over in the States now. So, um, I love this promo by Moxley. Moxley was like, I've been looking for you for so long. He says, it's feel like for 3 years you've been ducking me. And I've tried to take down everybody. I tried to get to you for 3 years. I had to go through Kenta in an empty gymnasium during the 2020 pandemic. I had to go through so many other guys. God, who do you have that one match with on Dynamite for the title? Not Lance Archer, but the other one.
Trying to remember. I can't really recall.
Kojima was the all-out match last year.
Was it Ishii?
No, I can't. I don't know. I can't remember.
Wait, can you say the question again?
Who did he have that match on Dynamite with for the IWGP US title? It was like right before his.
Oh, that was my boy Yuji Nagata.
That's who it was.
Gosh.
Nagata. Okay. Okay. So he's running down all these names, and he says it's built up for 3 years. I've made my name in New Japan for 3 years just to get to you. And they say they call one person in professional wrestling the ace, and that's you, Tanahashi. And he says at Forbidden Door, you will not be that ace, as this match means more to him than just the AEW World Championship. It means everything he's built up for 3 years, all to this point, to face the top guy in New Japan. Then Tanahashi teases to take the microphone, and out came Chris Jericho with Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti, and he announces that the newest members of the Jericho Appreciation Society are Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti. So I kind of actually like that they're heels. Not kind of. I'm glad they're heels. And I feel like Ty Conti and Sammy in a faction like this, it's going to be really good, I think. Much better than what they were in before. So Jericho says Moxley doesn't even deserve to be in the spot that he was in. He says if he was at Dynamite last week, it would be Jericho going on to face Tanahashi at Forbidden Door. And he says, Tanahashi, last time I saw you, we main evented in the Tokyo Dome when I was the AEW World Champion, and I pinned your ass in the middle of the ring. Tanahashi then takes the microphone and says, Hey, Jericho, shut up. So he tells him to shut up, and then Jericho's like, that's your comeback? And he tells his guys to get him. So we got the Jericho Appreciation Society going to take out Moxley and Tanahashi, while Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Conti casually walk down the ring. Out comes Eddie Kingston, with Santana and the new-looking Ortiz. We then have Lance Archer and El Desperado come out to attack the babyfaces and help Chris Jericho. And it was quite weird to me how Excalibur says, "Here's New Japan's here's New Japan's Lance Archer and El Desperado." I'm like, when did Lance Archer just become a New Japan wrestler? I don't know. I guess he's still technically in AEW, but um, at the end of the day, he is the only. They came out with the field in the G1 for this year. It is their biggest field ever. Um, I probably won't be able to watch G1 because I'll just be too busy with work. But Lance Archer was the only AEW talent announced for the G1, which to me is quite disappointing. I mean, I know everything's not cleared yet with states and going to Japan because of COVID. And apparently in New Japan, you can't cheer. All you can do is clap. So I kind of get the reasoning, but I mean, for their biggest field ever, it's also at the same point kind of disappointing that there's only one AEW talent going over to Japan for the G1. But Jericho, after the beatdown, then says, with Archer and El Desperado, they were sent by Suzuki-gun and their leader, Minoru Suzuki. And we will team up for the first time ever at Forbidden Door, as Jericho announces a six-man tag between himself, Minoru Suzuki, and Sammy Guevara going up against Blackpool Combat Club's Wheeler Yuta, Shooter, if you guys remember him with Jon Moxley. Shooter is back, and they will be teaming up with Eddie Kingston. So it's Jericho, Suzuki, and Sammy Guevara against Wheeler Yuta, Shota Umino, and Eddie Kingston going down at Forbidden Door. I thought the segment was fine. It's a little bit sloppy. This was the most chaotic way to get a match out there, and this could end up being the most chaotic match. Um, at the Forbidden Door, you got Umino in there, Shooter. You got him in there with guys like Jericho. I think there's a bunch of nice combinations in this match. Obviously, you got the blood feud between Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston in that match. Now Sammy Guevara on his side. We could see Sammy Guevara go at it with Wheeler Yuta, Suzuki with Eddie Kingston. I think this will be a fun six-man tag at the pay-per-view. Um, but let's get your guys' thoughts on it. Let's hear from you guys. Let's hear from Cam first.
First off, I thought this was a really good segment, but the biggest thing, well, my biggest takeaway from this segment is the murder grandpa Minoru Suzuki is going to be at Forbidden Door. I am so happy we get to see the murder grandpa one more time. Anytime we get to see the murder grandpa, anytime we get to see murder grandpa beat the shit out of people, it is absolutely great, man. All respect goes to the great Minoru Suzuki, and I'm not just saying that because I'm afraid he's watching this, and if I speak bad about Minoru Suzuki, he will find me and beat the shit out of me. So Minoru Suzuki, Minoru Suzuki is legend, man. But I thought this is a good segment here. I like Jericho coming out. I thought this is a good segment here. I like Tanahashi in the AEW ring just looks so right. Him in an AEW ring just, oh my god. Oh my god, I love her. I love me some Hiroshi. I love me some Hiroshi Tanahashi. Jericho coming out, Jericho coming out, and the six-man tag being set up, I thought was fine. I thought was fine. I thought this was fine segment here. I thought this was fine segment here. Lance Archer is not with New Japan, he's with AEW, but him being the only AEW star in G1. I'm with you, Joseph. That is a massive disappointment. No disrespect to Lance Archer, but that is a gigantic disappointment, man. The fact that he's the only one out of that entire AEW roster, he's the only one in the G1. That is a disappointment. But I thought this was a really good segment overall, and the six-man tag should be a lot of
Wes.
Yeah, I enjoyed the segment. I thought it was good. I'm really looking forward to Tanahashi and Moxley for the interim AEW World Title at Forbidden Door. That should be a really great main event. And I think the six man should be really good as well with a Shooter, Wheeler, and Kingston versus Jericho, Sammy, and Minoru Suzuki. It should be a hard hitting match too. And like you said, Joseph, it should be chaotic as well. So I mean, this Forbidden Door card is really shaping up to be really really nice, and I'm very much excited for June 26th.
Absolutely, man. Getting more matches, and also what happened this weekend was Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. was backstage after his match. I'm not sure what match he was in. I'm not so sure. But he called out Bryan Danielson for a match at Forbidden Door. All smiles on my face when I heard that. He said, "Why don't you take time out of your golf schedule with the Blackpool Country Club?" That got a laugh out of me. He said, "Take some time out of your golf schedule from the Blackpool Country Club and come see who's the best technical wrestler in the world at Forbidden Door." So if we get that, I thought that match was going to be confirmed tonight. At least we can confirm it on Friday or get some vignette or promo by Danielson. I'm hoping he's fine to do the match because just like Ospreay and Cassidy, if that's one of the matches, that could be one of the best matches on the entire show. No joke. So, what did we have after this? We had Ethan Page against we had Ethan Page against Miro. How did I forget Miro? I'm sorry. So Ethan Page against Miro. This was very predictable. Miro got the win. The thing that I got most out of this, everybody loves Miro. He comes out, he's running out of the tunnel. He's playing into the crowd the entire match. To me, he wrestled like a babyface. And he got the win, playing up to the crowd. Great stuff. We said this last week. He is, in my opinion, your first All Atlantic champion. I know Pac needs Pac could use the title. Malachi would look fine with that title. I think that title was designed for Miro. Cam, you can go first.
I thought this is a fine heel versus. I thought this is a fine heel versus heel match here with Ethan Page and Miro. Ethan Page got a lot more offense in than I expected him to. I thought Miro was going to absolutely destroy the guy. So the fact that he didn't kind of shocked me. The fact that he didn't kind of shocked me. But Miro going to Forbidden Door is absolutely the right move. This played a four-way. It's going to be a blast. That final spot, I'm assuming is going to go to. I'm assuming the final spot is going to go to Tomohiro Ishii, or it should go to Ishii at least. So that is going to be a lot of fun. And you say Miro should be the first North Atlantic champion. I know I said Pac last week, but I'm gonna have to change it. I'm gonna have to change it. If I'm AEW, I will put that championship on Malachi Black. I would get some gold in the House of Black, and I would start with the AEW, and I would start with the All Atlantic Championship. So I think Malachi Black should go to Forbidden Door and win it. But I thought this was a fine heel versus heel match here. I don't know if they're turning Miro babyface or not. He was acting like a baby. He was wrestling like a babyface in this match. But I didn't look at it as them turning Miro babyface. I just looked at it as it's heel versus heel. So somebody has to play the baby with Miro. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Wes, before I let you go, we got some more breaking news as the week goes on. I don't know how reliable this is. I'm just scrolling through Twitter. I don't know how reliable this is. I'm waiting to hear something from a tweet from Sap or a tweet from Dave Meltzer. But according to Raj Gieri of Wrestling Inc., he is hearing that Sasha Banks has been released by WWE. He doesn't know if it's that she requested it or it's on WWE's end. She is
I gotta
trending.
hear this shit. I gotta hear this shit from Seth. I
Yeah.
gotta hear this shit from
Yeah.
Sean Ross Sapp.
This is made news.
That's
I
what.
gotta hear
That's
Sean Ross Sapp gotta get on this ASAP. I gotta hear this from him. I want to hear it from
Yeah.
Raj Kerr. I don't want to hear it from anybody else. I need to hear this from Sean Ross Sapp. I need to hear this from Sean Ross Sapp before I believe it, because ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way.
if this is true. I mean, I just saw this from Raj Gieri. That was the first person that popped up, and she's trending on social media right now. So, I mean, if she really is released, I mean, holy shit, that is a massive loss
Yeah.
for WWE. But they don't deserve her, so.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Holy shit, man. Golly. I'm with you, Cam. We got to hear from Sap because this is no joke. This is major news. True.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what's going on Twitter, but yeah, I'm with you guys. I just saw it and I wanted to say something about it because I didn't want to wait, but I'm probably just going to wait to hear from Sap or Mike Johnson or Meltzer to see if this is true because my god, if this is true. Wow. Just wow. Um but let's get back into the program. Sorry for the interruption. Hey, some big breaking news here on the show tonight. So,
Go.
Tony Storm against Britt Baker. This match was announced, and I'm like, okay, are they going to give Tony Storm her win back from when she lost in the tournament? That's indeed what happened. I'm very glad that this was the outcome. If Britt Baker had won this match, I would have not been happy. The match was fine. I thought the first match was better, honestly, but what I wanted was the correct outcome. That's exactly what we got. Tony Storm wins with the Storm Zero on with the Storm Zero on Britt Baker, and she wins. Thunder Rosa comes out and points to her and holds up the women's title, and it was confirmed for Forbidden Door. We're getting Tony Storm against Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship. And I think that is the only non AEW versus New Japan match happening on the show. So, Cam, what was your thoughts on this Britt Baker Tony Storm match?
I thought this match was fun here. I was absolutely terrified that Britt Baker was going to win and that they were going to turn this into a three-way feud with Britt Baker, Tony Storm, and Thunder Rosa. So I'm glad Tony Storm won, and Tony Storm versus Britt Baker and Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa, excuse me, sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. And it's amazing, man. It is amazing, man. Tony Storm ain't need to get no pie thrown in her face. She ain't need to have her shirt, and she ain't need to, she ain't need to have no pie thrown in her face. She ain't need to have, she ain't need to cry and she ain't need to cry on television. She ain't need to do the shit WWE was planning with with her losing her, with her losing her top and shit, and to get a title shot, man. Nah, man, she just walked into AEW with her talent, got her title match, man. What a novel concept that is, man. What a novel concept. But this is going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Wes?
Yeah, I thought the match was fine. I legit thought, like, when Tony Storm did that hip attack in the corner on Britt, I legit thought she hurt her when Britt was kind of, as we saw later on in the match, she did fake the injury. But I wouldn't be surprised if she got herself a little headache tonight. Man, I'm telling you, man, when Tony Storm does that hip attack in the corner, she puts a little extra oomph into that, man. I mean, that is a brutal looking move, man. I mean, like I look at like Asuka and like her hip attack in WWE, man. Like she like that's brutal as well. But man, Tony, like she really, like, I feel like every time she does it, man, she's literally like just going full force India, and it's crazy. But thankfully, Britt seems to be okay, which is good. But yeah, Tony winning was definitely the right call here. I was hoping that was going to be the outcome, and indeed it was. And now we got Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship at Forbidden Door. The only non-AEW versus New Japan match. But it should be really good. Give these women a good solid 10 to 15 minutes. Give them a good amount of time on this pay-per-view. I think they'll kill it. And I'm sure, later on we'll get into like who will win the match and all that stuff. But I think overall it should be a really solid contest between both women.
Yeah, absolutely. Part of me would like to see Toni Storm go over, and I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think they're going to have a tremendous match. We saw two really good wrestlers with Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa at Double or Nothing, and now with this one, I feel like it could be even better because both of them are just so damn good. So we'll see what happens at Forbidden Door. Hangman Page. Hangman Page came out. He was all fired up. And he was like, last week I came out and I issued a challenge to Kazuchika Okada. And not only did I issue a challenge, I issued a challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And he said in his mind, he didn't know that there was a roadblock for Okada between now and Forbidden Door. And all of a sudden, he's no longer the champion. Jay White is the champion, which, by the way, once one of my friends told me that, I was shocked. I thought for sure Okada was going to retain that title. So to hear that Jay White won the title, I was shocked. So Adam Cole comes out and he says, "You are even more delusional than you were last week." He says that congratulations to my friend Jay White, and he says that Forbidden Door is all about the Bullet Club and the Undisputed Elite because we're the best two factions in all of professional wrestling. And he says Okada is not here tonight, and he's not even going to be at Forbidden Door. Now, I don't know why Adam Cole would say that. If Okada, no offense, if Okada's not at Forbidden Door in some capacity, I'm going to be a little upset. I'm not going to lie. I think that place would go bananas to see Okada. But he says Okada is not here, but someone else is here to say hello. And that was the Switchblade, Jay White, gave the Blade Runner to Hangman Page. And he says, "What makes you think you are worthy of a match for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship? You lost your match to CM Punk, and you lost the AEW World Title. So your answer is no." And he says, "I'll defend my title against anybody because I am the champion and I make the rules." And Adam Cole was celebrating. He's like, "Yes, it's going to be me versus Jay White." And Jay White was like, "It's not against you, Adam Cole." And then Jay White completely ignored Adam Cole when he was walking up the ramp. So my theory with this is two solutions. A, we are getting a fatal four-way for the IWGP title. Or two, the title will not be on the line, and we're going to get Hangman Page teaming up with Okada to face the team of Adam Cole and Jay White. I don't see any other scenario happening than those two at the pay-per-view. That's just the only solutions I can really think of for what to do with this situation. Let's hear from you guys. Let's hear from Wes first this time.
Yeah, definitely very interesting development going on when it comes to the IWGP heavyweight picture, and when it comes to Adam Cole, Hangman Page, and Jay White. Of course, Jay White won the title at Dominion past weekend against Okada. Big shocker there. And I don't know if you guys saw the promo we cut after the show and the press conference, man, but what a hell of a promo it was. Jay White, man, you got to give the guy credit, man. This dude is, he went from being a young lion in New Japan. He's made himself into one of the biggest stars that New Japan has ever created, and you got to give credit where credit's due there. But he's now reigning as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So it's going to be very interesting to see come June 26th what they decide to do. I think I agree with your the two scenarios there, Joseph. I think it could be a tag match or end up being a fatal four-way. Some people also speculated maybe it's a surprise. Maybe it's going to be some sort of surprise debut or surprise return for Jay White to face for the IWGP Heavyweight title. We'll have to see. I'm sure we'll get more information once we get into next week's episode of Dynamite. But I'm very intrigued to see which route they decide to take with this and who all gets involved. But I can't imagine Hangman and Adam Cole are going to be left off this show and not be in a big time match. And I think, they're going to be involved with Jay White, and, Okada may or may not be involved. I really hope we do see Okada in some sort of capacity, because you can't just have a show like this and not have pretty much the biggest star that New Japan has in their possession in Kazuchika Okada, so we'll have to see what happens, but I'm intrigued. So.
Oh, absolutely. He needs to be on the show, in my opinion, in some capacity, in some match. Cam, go ahead, man.
I'm with you, Joseph. I could see this being a tag match. I just don't see how you have a AEW New Japan Super Show and the biggest star in all of New Japan, Kazuchika Okada, is not off Forbidden Door. I just don't see how that's possible unless the man is injured, or unless he just doesn't want to do it for some strange reason. I don't see how you have the Super Show and not have Okada on the card, and not have Okada anywhere on the show. So I do think we could be getting either a tag match or a fatal four-way. So I do think we could be getting either a tag match or a fatal four-way here. But if it's a triple threat, I think it's going to be good. But I'm really hoping for the four-way, just because I don't understand how you have a New Japan Super Show and the biggest name in New Japan, the face of New Japan, Okada, is nowhere on the show. I just don't see how that's possible. I just don't see how that's possible. It would be like Rob Van Dam. It would be like RVD missing one night stand in 2004, missing one night stand in 2005. The show will no doubt be great, but it's just like something is gonna be missing if you're doing a show like that. If you're doing a big show like that and the biggest name in your promotion is nowhere on the show. So I hope Okada's there for us so we can get this four-way, so we can get this fatal four-way. But if it's a triple threat, I have no doubt. But if it's triple threat, I have no doubt that would also be really good too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. We'll get some sort of match. He just needs to be on the show. At the end of the day, we need to see Okada at the Forbidden Door. He's not the champion, but he is their biggest talent in New Japan. So we need to see him. And then the main event for the AEW World Tag Team Champions, we had the Young Bucks against Jurassic Express. This was supposed to be a three-way with the Hardy Boys, but stuff happened this week with Jeff Hardy, which I've chosen not to talk about on the show tonight for reasons that I'm not going to share. But this turned into just a tag match between the Young Bucks and the Jurassic Express in a ladder match. This was insane. This was an insane match. Props to my guy, Luchasaurus, man. Luchasaurus went through 6 tables in this match. 6 tables. He got put through a table with a 450 from Nick Jackson, an elbow drop from Matt Jackson, and then there was a point in the match where All four of them were up trying to grab the titles. And Luchasaurus was the only one up there. The Young Bucks tipped the ladder over, and Luchasaurus went through 4 goddamn tables, man. Props to him, man. He took such a beating in this match. So, uh, gotta give my shout out to Luchasaurus there. But this match was insane. I think we saw the writing on the wall. The Young Bucks were going to win the tag team champions. It just fits right that they are the first ever 2-time AEW tag team champions. It just fits right. I don't think this reign is going to be longer than their first reign. I think they're dropping those belts at All Out, either to FTR or Santana and Ortiz. One of those two teams. I don't care who it is. They have to beat the Bucks. One of those two tag teams. I don't care who it is. Those are my two answers. This who takes the titles off the Young Bucks. But this match was insane. Jungle Boy, Hurricane Rana, Nick Jackson through a table. Jungle Boy got power bombed through a table. You know, everybody went through hell in this match. Nick Jackson was bleeding. Luchasaurus was knocked out. It was basically a 2-on-1 match. All they did was a BTE trigger to Jungle Boy, and they grabbed the tag team titles. And the Young Bucks are the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Now, before we get to all the post-match stuff with Christian Cage and Jungle Boy, I just want to talk about the match. Just the match. Thoughts? We'll start with Cam.
I thought this was a really fun ladder match here, but I have a request for people to AEW to make. I don't know if this is possible or not. I don't know if this is possible or not, but if it is, they need to try to make this happen. But if it is, they need to try to make this happen. With big championship main events like this, not all of them, but big championship main events like this, where there's a gimmick involved, whether that be a ladder match, whether that be a ladder match, whether that be ladder, last man standing, Texas death match, Iron Man, whatever it is. If there's a big main event match involved, I really wish AEW. Again, I don't know if this is possible or not, but I really wish we could get commercial free. These type of matches commercial free. These type of matches commercial free. I know they have to. I know they do picture in picture where the match still continues, but it happens in a little. But it happens in a little box. But I know not everybody likes the picture in picture format. So like just in general, I think so. I guess in general, again, I don't know if it's possible, but like them having like commercial free main events for like these big championship matches, I think means I think it's something they should look in. It's something I think they should look into. I think it's something that should happen. But this ladder match is absolutely insane. This was an absolutely insane ladder match. My lord. No, my lord was this an absolutely insane ladder match. Just a lot of really fun spots. There's a lot of really fun spots here. There's a lot of really fun spots here. The Luchasaurus going through 2 tables. My God, he got Luchasaurus going through 2 tables. My God, he got absolutely murdered. My God, he got absolutely murdered. And the Young Bucks winning the tag team titles here, I thought was the right choice. I feel like it was time. No disrespect to Jurassic Express, they had a great reign, but I felt like it was time for their title reign to come to an end. I feel like it was time for their title reign to come to an end. I feel like it was time for their title reign to come to an end. I'm glad it was to the Bucks. And I think the Young Bucks are the perfect thing for it. You built the Young Bucks for FTR at All Out 3. You built the Young Bucks for FTR at All Out. So, yeah, I thought this was really good. I thought this was really fun.
Wes.
Yeah, this was definitely an amazing ladder match, man. I mean, what more can you expect from these 4 guys, really? I mean, they went through hell and back this entire match here in the main event, and it was just awesome through and through. And Nick Jackson, bleeding from the mouth. I think that added as well, man. I don't know how that happened, but it looked brutal. It looked like he got busted open pretty hard in whatever fashion. But I think the Young Bucks winning the tag titles again for the second time, I agree with the guys. It's the right call. The Jurassic Express had a hell of a run. You got to give credit to Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. They held the titles for half a year. They literally started 2022 at New Year's Smash, winning the tag titles against the Lucha Brothers, and carried that tag division as champions for half a year. So you gotta tip your cap to those guys, man. They put on amazing performances. Whether it was on pay-per-view or on Dynamite or Rampage, even. I mean, they had a really great run. And I'm very proud of what they did. I think the Young Bucks again. I think it's fine for them to win the tag titles right now. And I agree. I don't think it's gonna be a longer reign than their first one. I could definitely see them losing the tag titles at All Out. And hey, if we get FTR Young Bucks again, FTR Young Bucks 3 and All Out, sign me up. I'm never gonna complain about an FTR Young Bucks match, man. I will never ever complain. I don't think anybody ever should either, because those two teams create absolute magic, man. And but yeah, we'll see how everything goes. But yeah, definitely the right call with the finish and overall the match. Absolute insanity. Luchasaurus taking that huge bump into the 4 tables at the end, man. I mean, gotta tip your cap to him, especially, man. Luchasaurus is one tough big man, that's for sure.
Yeah, if they also wanted to do Santana and Ortiz taking the title, I would be totally okay with that as well. Or they in the future, if they wanted to, they could do a situation where Eddie Kingston is the AEW World Champion and Santana and Ortiz are the tag team champions. I think that would be really cool, but time will tell. Time will tell. People complaining online that Jurassic Express didn't have a good reign as tag team champions or it was boring. I thought they had a very fun
What
was that?
I said, what the fuck watch?
I don't know, man, but they had a bunch of great defenses. You had that 3-way at Revolution with the Bucks and Red Dragon, which I think personally was their best defense out of all of the title defenses they had. They had that little program with Red Dragon, which was fine. They did the 3-way with Team Taz, Starks, and Hobbs. And then it culminated with this. And I agree with Wes. I think the Young Bucks were the perfect team to take the titles off the Jurassic Express. And then we get to the post match. Christian is out there. He is taking care of Luchasaurus as Luchasaurus went through 4 tables in this match. Christian goes in there. He helps Jungle Boy, and he's helping Doc Samson get Jungle Boy out of the ring. Christian takes Jungle Boy, gives him the kill switch. He then goes for the 2 chairs, and I love how him and Edge have both of this in common. The concerto, man. Christian goes for the concerto, and he absolutely nailed Jungle Boy in the back of the head with this concerto. And I mean, he nailed him in the back of the head. And then, excuse me, it's late here. Then after, off air, I wish they played this on air, man. He goes to Jungle Boy's mom and his sister. They're yelling at Christian. They're calling him worthless. Christian says, "You raised a piece of shit." I wish they showed that on television. At least upload it to YouTube, man. At least upload it to YouTube. But man, absolutely brilliant. The Christian heel turn is here. The feud between Christian and Jungle Boy, which I feel like the turn's been a long time coming, finally here. And yeah, man, we talked about it in the beginning. Couldn't have been any happier by the way things turned out. And now, here we go. Pack the rocket for this feud and just let it go. Let it go. Let's hear from Cam first on this monumental heel turn from Christian.
Well, they got me. They made me look like a bunch of idiots. I remember after the match, I remember after the ladder match, looking at the time, it was like 10:58, and I was like, not 10:58, it was like around 58. And so like, I'm looking at this on like so I'm looking at this on like the show going off the air. I remember I just put in the group chat. I remember I just put in one of the group chats. I was like, this Christian Cage on Jungle Boy heel turn ain't never. Because I was like, it ain't never happened. Because I was like, we done said for so long and so long and so long. Just wait till Christian turns on Jungle Boy. And it hasn't happened, and it hasn't happened. So like I was saying it hasn't happened. So like I was under the assumption, I was under the assumption of, well, this no turn ain't ever gonna happen. Boy, did they make me look like a bunch of idiots when I said that. I said, "Oh, I spoke too soon because the heel turn did happen." Christian going back heel, Christian going back heel. I think is the right role for him. I think it's the right role for him. I think Christian has always been a much better heel. I think Christian has always been a much better heel than the babyface. That's just me personally. So him going back heel was definitely the right choice. And him working with Jungle Boy, these matches are going to be a banger. Christian and Jungle Boy are going to have great matches, man. And let me tell you something, man. I cannot wait for that purple light we're going to get with the Christian promos, man. And we got the purple light with the Edge promos. I cannot wait for that purple light with the Christian promos, man. That is going to be fun. But in all seriousness, man, Christian Jungle Boy all out, sign me up. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Wes?
Yep, just a cherry on top of the cake, man. We came to this episode of AEW Dynamite tonight. I love it. I love the Christian heel turn. It was a long time coming, and it finally culminated. And I honestly thought they weren't going to pull it off, knowing that, like, looking at my phone too, there was like a minute left on the show, and I was like, yeah, they're probably not going to do it. And then lo and behold, he pulls Jungle Boy in, hits the kill switch, hits the concerto after that. And man, it's just awesome to see, man. Christian turning heel on Jungle Boy was definitely the right move here. Now we move forward into the Jungle Boy and Christian Cage one-on-one feud, and it should be a great one, man. These two guys should have great chemistry in the ring. I honestly think they're gonna put on a really, really solid match when everything's all said and done. And I'm looking forward to all this, and I can't wait to hear what Christian has to say too after the fact that he did this. And I feel like too, when he initially set up this ladder match, of course we know it was supposed to be a three-way and everything, but like, I noticed how like Jungle Boy looked at Christian when he made that match official for them.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy just, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're putting us at a disadvantage. You got us up against two other teams for the tag titles in a ladder match. And so like Jungle Boy looked at him like he was crazy. So you could tell this is easily all a setup all along for Christian, to set it up to where, they lose the tag titles and Christian takes the, strikes when the iron's hot right there and attack Jungle Boy right in the center of the ring and just completely take him out. And I love it, man. It's strategic. It's amazing. It really dips into Christian heel character too, because Christian's done stuff like this before, and Christian as a heel, I honestly, I agree with you, Cam. I think as a heel, Christian works better. Not to say he's a bad babyface. I think he's a really solid babyface too. But as a heel, man, you really see just a really great side of Christian come out, and that's one thing him and Edge have in common, is that both of them work super well as heels. They are just so great as heels, man. Whether they're being like comedic heels like back in the day as Edge and Christian, or they're being serious heels, those guys know how to be bad guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing what progresses moving forward.
Here's the difference. I don't mean to talk about WWE here, but you brought out Edge being a great heel. And I agree. When he is allowed to be a great heel, he can be a damn great heel. But I don't mean to dive into WWE here, but from what I know and from what I've seen, I'm watching a little bit of not a lot. I wouldn't waste my time watching all of Raw, but a little bit. I feel like AEW is just gonna fully embrace the Christian heel turn and just go all in on it. Hopefully, I don't feel like WWE went all in on this Edge heel turn. He was only a heel for 3 months. I think kicking him out of the Judgment Day that quick was pretty weird and pretty awkward. It was right after Cody Rhodes got injured, and he really didn't have a lot of time to show us how good of a heel he can be. They had him with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day, and they kicked him out like that, and he didn't really have to. He didn't really get to show how good of a heel he is. So that's my only opinion with that. But yeah, um, whose idea was it that there should be a purple light spotted on Christian when he cuts promos? Was that Cam's?
I said that as a joke to mock the I said that as a joke to mock Edge, to mock I said that as a joke to mock Edge when he's on Raw. Because when he's on Raw, he's a promo. He has the stupid purple light. Or he's got the stupid purple light when he first turned heel. This is part of Judgment Day. I said that as a way to mock. I said that as a way to mock Edge. Is to give Christian the purple light when he comes out. I wasn't serious with it.
Oh, honestly though, when he cuts promos, they should like turn off the lights and like just put the spotlight on him. I feel like that would be absolute dope. And he could put out and say, for the past year, the spotlight was never on me and it was always on Jungle Boy or something. I can't wait for that first promo he cuts, man. That's gonna be so epic. And I don't know if it's gonna be next week or after Forbidden Door, but that first promo Christian cuts on Jungle Boy on why he turned on him, man, that's gonna be so epic, man. I'm so excited. So, yeah, that is your AEW. Donna, we got through everything, right?
Everything. Yep, that's all of it.
Awesome. That is your AEW Dynamite review tonight. Thank you all so much for joining. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. Guys, I don't know what's going on with this Sasha Banks stuff, but I'll tell you right now, if somehow there's a reliable source tomorrow, Dave Meltzer, SAP, that states that Sasha Banks was released by WWE, you will see me tomorrow. I guarantee you. You will see me here tomorrow on the channel making a video about that. So keep an eye on that. Be sure to subscribe. Comment below your thoughts about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite live from St. Louis. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from us on tonight's video. Next week, gotta talk to Cam's friend, Escobar Morales. He did reach out to me this week and he said, whenever you're available, let me know. And there's a good chance that we will have him on the Forbidden Door roundtable discussion next week. So I will let you guys know when that is going to happen. And yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Conlon_Joseph. Wes, where can they follow you, my friend?
You already know. Follow me over on Instagram at The Real Wesley Snipes. You can also follow me over on TikTok with the same exact username. That is, again, at The Real Wesley Snipes. And Cam, let's send the crowd home happy.
Follow me on Twitter at ChamSummer1101. I know I have not been active on Twitter as much lately as I usually am. Because to be honest with you, Twitter is a cesspool. To be honest with you, Twitter is a cesspool. So I'm trying to stay off that app as much as possible. But if big news breaks, I will be on there. So you can follow me there if you want. And subscribe to the CNA podcast, available on all platforms. And yeah.
Absolutely. So, thank you guys for joining tonight. And again, if there's a credible source that Sasha Banks has been released by WWE, that is absolutely bombshell news. And I will for sure be here tomorrow if that's the case. So you guys have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. We out. Peace.